your girl Cleopatra.
And I'm Jazmyn.
And this is Convos with Cleo. So today we are here with a special guest. We are here with my sorority sister, the lovely Miss Jazmyn.
Hey.
I brought Jazmyn on because there is a particular topic that I was talking about today at my job with a couple of my coworkers. Shout out to Marisol, John, Dominique, and Denisha. Thank y'all. And they brought up a very interesting topic that I figured Jazmyn would actually be well versed in, and we are going to find out. So before we jump into that topic, I do want to give another shout out to Andre. We actually have the rest of the sangria that I ordered. I will be ordering more. Andre is the maker of Love Hugs and Sangria, and it is amazing.
Good.
Thank you again, Andre. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying the music on my intro. That was actually made, I said it in my first video, but I haven't said it in a while, by DJ GoldBlooded. I will have both those guys' information in the description box. Follow them, use them, amazing stuff. Okay, so the topic we were talking about today at work were the joys and the pains of long-distance relationships.
Oh.
So Jazmyn happens to be currently in a long-distance relationship.
Yes.
It is a 8-hour.
Yeah, on a good day.
On a good day. No traffic, straight shot. It's an 8-hour distance. So that to me is long distance. I don't consider that an hour.
Girl.
Long distance.
Oof, when I lived in New York, it was like, oh, another borough. This
is another few states in between. So, in talking about long distance relationships, some people were like adamant, oh, this is easy, it's nothing to it. Some people were adamant, I could never. Some people were like, well, there has to be stipulations. So, we came up with a list of questions, and I figured there'd be no better person to ask than Jazmyn.
All right.
So, here we go. Question number 1, how long have y'all been together?
Like officially?
I guess.
Right, okay. Yeah. So it's like 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
You know, there's like a month of like the talking phase. I call it pre-dating because like I knew we were gonna be together, but officially we'll say like 7 months.
Okay. So now, y'all knew from the beginning it was going to be a long distance situation.
Yes. So so it's probably easier of like how it all got connected. So he was friends with my line brother that lives in North Carolina. And
Eric.
And they're on a podcast together with Eric's fiance Rez.
Textually active. Go check it out. They post every Tuesday. Check it out on SoundCloud. Textual Tuesday. Follow their Instagram, their Twitter, all that. They popping.
Yes. So he's on that. So I kind of got introduced that he existed in the world. And then one night, it was actually like the night that Instagram started to like ask me something on the stories. He put like a ask me something, and I said, how do you feel about girls shooting their shot from a distance, like Steph Curry distance?
Okay. Okay, go for the trifecta.
You know, and he said, you know, go ahead, shoot. And the rest is history.
Oh,
so
I love it.
Yeah.
So y'all were textually active.
Literally.
So the next question they had was communication has to be a huge deal when you're long distance, because since you can't literally see each other all the time, face to face anyway, communication is key. So a lot of the questions will be geared around you guys' communication as far as what's worked for you, what in these 9 months you realized doesn't work, etc. So first question is, how often are y'all expected to talk or text throughout the day? For example, if you don't hear his voice during the day, is that an issue? Like, come on now, you know, I go to lunch at 12, you go to lunch at 12, why didn't you call me?
So it's changed throughout time. So when we first started talking, he called me every day at lunch. So if I backtrack, actually, so he works nights. I work days. So
that's already
long distance and on different schedules. So he used to like come in, like do whatever while I'm at work. And then we would talk during lunch. And then at some point I was like, you are tired or falling asleep every time I'm talking to you at lunch. Like, don't worry about it. Don't call me at lunch. Like, we'll just talk at night. But So what it turns into now is every morning I'm getting up while he's leaving work. So we text good morning.
Got you.
If there's a day that we forget, it's like, why didn't you text me?
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
it is a thing.
Okay.
And then we talk every night whenever he wakes up. So it's usually when I'm
when
getting
he
ready
wakes
for
up
bed.
to go to work because he works nights.
Yeah,
Got you.
So I know that I'm probably gonna talk to him after like 9
After hours.
p.m. And then we talk until it depends on how we're feeling, but typically he has to be at work at midnight.
Got you.
So it's like really like till like 11:30, which is he's leaving. Sometimes he'll call me on the way to work. It depends, but every night we talk. Every morning we text.
Got you.
Without a doubt.
Without fail.
Yes,
or
if
there's
it is
a question of why it failed.
Yes, or it's like I'm having, and even if it's like you're having a bad day, or like yesterday I was sick, and it's just like, hey, calling to say I don't feel well, we don't really want to talk, blah blah blah. Like, all right, love you, bye.
Still need to hear the voice on the other end of the line, even if you don't get to have an extended conversation.
Yes. Yep.
All right. When you communicate, and I guess maybe does he work weekends?
No.
Do you work weekends?
Sometimes.
Okay. So let's say it's the weekend and you don't have to do the text morning, phone night rule because he's not going to work and vice versa. Y'all don't have the opposite schedules going on. If the other person is busy at the time of the call, is the person receiving the call expected to find a quiet corner wherever y'all are and accept this phone call? Or is it accepted to be like, hey, I'm out, I'll hit you later?
All of the above.
Okay.
So it kind of depends, right? So if he is with people that I know, or if I'm with people that I know, we just pick up there. Like if he's with Eric and Rez, like I'm expecting him to pick up in front of them. Like, oh hey, say hi to everyone, blah, blah,
and have a full-fledged conversation.
As long as it's comfortable. Like if you really are very busy, like, oh, let me call you back. All right, cool. And there's moments where like the person's busy and like I've just been like sitting there on the phone listening to them talk.
Be busy.
And I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm like, oh, okay. But like we're in each other's presence. So it's like as if we're hanging out.
Is this a FaceTime call?
We almost predominantly FaceTime call.
Because you don't get to see each other. You want to see them.
Exactly. So if you are real busy, it's like, I'll call you back later. In general, we don't really miss each other's calls much.
That's good. I think you have.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's so far so good. And if so, it's like, I'll call you back later, or like, I'm doing this, let me call you back.
And it has to be a good thing you're doing for you not to be able to talk to me right now.
Right.
It has to be legitimate.
I don't know if we've experienced a non-legitimate yet.
Okay. And he's like, I'm at my boy house, I'm in the middle of Madden. That's legitimate or no?
It would be like, okay, but like, don't let me see you tweet. Don't let me see your Instagram story. Like, if you are on your phone, I'm gonna be like, you obviously can talk. You can obviously talk.
Got
you. He's been like out, like out with his friends, so like smoking hookah or something like that, and he won't answer. So then I'm like, guess I'll wait to get home.
Got you.
But then there's usually like a guilt trip after.
Of course. As there should be.
In the fall, we were so much cuter.
Okay.
Because, let me say, so we would text in the morning. We would talk at night on weekdays, like whenever he had work. Then Saturday, depending on what we were doing, it's like a when you wake up call situation. There were several weekends that we would talk for like hours on Saturday. So the first time we had like an extended period of time. Then Sundays, he would wake up at like 11-ish, 12-ish. And then he would call and we would watch church together.
Oh, that is so
And then football would come on. I'm a huge football fan, so is he. So then we would like maybe watch the game or like not talk and just text during the games. Yeah. So it was so cute. And then football season ended, and now I talk to him when I talk to him.
Well, you can have church,
but we haven't.
Oh, well,
that so it was real cute before.
I need to get back to church.
We'll see.
All right. How often do you guys actually get a chance to see each other in the flesh? In the last 9 months, how often have you guys been able to be?
So for the first 5 months, so up until December, I saw him at least every 3 weeks. There was a minute we saw him we saw each other every other week. Between him coming to Philly, me going there, us going somewhere else together, like, meeting up at
maybe
New
someplace
York,
in the middle,
Delaware. Like he came to my homecoming, like all that. Nice. Yeah, it was cute. Then New Year's came, and in the year 2019, I have seen him Valentine's Day weekend. That's it.
Oh yeah, I need to step it up.
And I'll see him in 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, we both will.
Yes. So
we are actually going to celebrate Textually Active's 1 year of podcasting, 1 year of amazing content, 1 year of doing it against all odds. So we are going to turn all the way up in North Carolina. Yeah.
R&B 143. 143 as in I love you.
I love you. I know that from Neo Soul Child. Music Soul Child. Come on now.
So R&B all night. I'm ready to just sway and sing out loud for the entire night.
Give me them 90s ballads, honey. I'm going in.
Oh, no, not right. Okay. All
right. So, is there any expectation? All right. Well, is there any expectation to like, I came the last 2 times, you need to come 2 times, or is it just as long as we get together, we don't care who has to travel. We just need to see each other.
There's not really an established dynamic. It's more just like what's going on at that time.
Okay.
So, like if I'm just like, I'm free this week. So I work a lot and I have a lot of stress in my work. So if it's like, I'm free, I'll try to come down there. And then...
Are you driving usually?
It depends. I do both, fly and drive. Flights are real expensive.
Yeah.
But driving...
It's faster.
It's so much faster. But like driving is cheaper. So it depends on budget and did I plan accordingly.
How long is this trip? If this is a 2-day trip, you're not going to spend a day and a half driving.
Exactly. Like if it's only Friday and Saturday.
I don't have time to be driving 16 hours. And we only got 48.
Yes. I'm like, I gotta take more time.
I'm gonna get there and go to sleep just to be able to come back.
I'm tired. I've driven twice. It was Thanksgiving break and Christmas break.
Got you.
So
yeah.
He's driven before a few times, but I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of depends. So I like convinced him to come. Well, actually, so his birthday and Valentine's Day are the same week.
Okay.
So Aquarius, yeah. So I, for his birthday, bought a plane ticket to see me for that weekend. Right.
Is that a little narcissistic? Like, for your birthday, his plane ticket to come see me?
He got other stuff too.
Well, and he wants to come see you for his birthday.
Exactly.
So you just made it easier.
Honestly, half the time is like, you know, men in pride. So to
he don't want you to pay for
convince him
to let you
was a lot. So I was like, it's birthday.
Right.
I was just like, I just want to see you.
Put your ticket on there.
Right.
I got you.
I got it.
Got you.
So that was his little birthday gift. And then like this is R&B 143, but
so that makes sense for you to go there. He's having a big event.
But the next time I don't really know because without a doubt, like he's coming up June 1st is the next time we know he's coming, and that's for Roots Picnic in Philly.
But this is March. That'd be 3 months instead of the 3-week rule.
No,
to be determined.
Yeah.
There might be something in the meantime.
Right. No.
April and May might have something happen.
Exactly. And I
you might have the extra stressful, like, you know what, time at work. I'm like, I need it. I need to get away.
And so I work in higher ed. So I work with fraternities and sororities. So January, February are real busy for me. Later in this semester,
everybody found it.
Right. Like later in the semester is easier. So it's easier for me to just have a free weekend to just be like, okay, I'll go there, and I don't want him to come up if I can't even spend time with him. So it will get a little better. It's just the beginning of this year.
It's difficult. Okay, so we're gonna get a little personal.
Okay.
Just a little.
I'm okay with personal.
Okay. Are y'all committed to monogamy, or is it like we're faithful when we're in the same state?
Monogamous. 100%.
100% hands down. Ain't no hall pass. Ain't no.
I really don't know how people can be in long distance and have a hall pass.
Yeah.
And like, well, I guess with my level of security, I don't really know. But I can't. Even like sometimes I get mad. I'm like, do you want to be in an open relationship? And he'd be like, no, because you don't want that. Like that's not gonna work for us.
Right.
And I'm like, you're right.
You're absolutely right.
Like
that was a test.
It is enough for me to be like, who are you with? Like, what's going on? Like.
And if you go into it with the expectation that he doesn't have to be monogamous, how awkward could that phone call be if you call him and you hear Shorty voice in the background? And then you can't even get mad.
Can't imagine.
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's the same thing for him to me. Like I can't. When we started talking, we were both talking to other people. It was very clear that there were other things going
Which
on.
Which is okay in the talking stage.
Right. Exactly. But once it became official, it was like both of us were like, hose down, like hose out.
But back in the stable.
Right. Like this is. I secured the bag. There's no bag. Like it's not like that. But like. This is done.
This is done. Little black book is gone.
Say goodbye.
All right.
Yeah.
None of that, honey. She said, hell no. I wish I did go.
You know, I'm a catch. So I appreciate that.
Hello. And you've been caught. So, boop. Have y'all dealt with any insecurities or trust issues? We just kind of talked about that a little bit as far as like, they might say, oh, what you doing? And then that's when you request the FaceTime. Like, FaceTime me. Is because you're really fishing a little bit? Or have you ever felt like he was fishing or pinging locations? Like, because with distance, people have a hard time trusting each other. They could live across the street. Right. So I'm guessing with distance, it might lead your mind to wonder a little bit more than it normally has to. And how difficult or easy is it to check those things? Or do you need that the extra insurance to be able to check it by looking at a location or a FaceTime or something?
So that's a tough question because I do trust him, but I just have general insecurities because my last serious relationship I got cheated on, and we were in Philly
together.
Yeah, like it was easy. So, and like he is a podcast and like does like all these things.
So he's in the public.
He's very public. Yes. So especially on like social media and like in Winston. So, it definitely does test my securities often. So there have been times I think. He's like, all right, it's not funny anymore. Because I'll be like, oh, well, you know, that, whatever, like, things
like,
are, like, I'll be asking questions.
Because he is like, I'm not cheating on you.
Right,
and
exactly.
I feel like some of these jokes have a twinge of truthfulness, and I don't want you to ever think I'm doing anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's harder when you're someone that does have a little bit of those insecurities. And I've been very clear, and he like knows. But he's also someone that likes to joke around, and he'll joke, and he'll be like, oh, well, these hoes, or like this, whatever, and I'm like. That's not
all right now.
That's not funny.
Right, all right now.
Like now you touch my insecurities.
Let's not pull at that thread.
I mean, it's mostly actually usually a joke. Like we can joke about it. Like, you know, my like custodial staff, he'll be like, "Oh, where he at?" Like and stuff like that. Like, who's that person?
Right.
I know he's not actually serious. Sometimes I'm like, "Wait, are you serious?"
Right, just to make sure, because
or like if we're on FaceTime, he's like, "Circle the room. Let me see who there." But. There are times where I think, like, even if I'm kind of joking, he knows I'm only kind of joking.
Yeah. Some of this is serious, so get the hell up and circle the room.
Yeah, exactly. So that's sometimes, like, where it's, like, a little tricky, but...
But y'all are working through it. Y'all are open with it. Y'all are honest with it. And you're trying your best to work through
it. And it's just that much harder because it's long distance. Because it's, like... You know, I can threat, like, I'll come down there, like, but he knows...
It's 8 hours. By the time you get there, he done cleaned up, changed, everybody going. You ain't gonna catch nothing. Proof. He done showered 10 times. Like, it's the next day by the time you get there.
And the only spies I got are his friends, too.
Right.
So, I'm like, all right. Yeah. I mean, they know.
They know. They watching.
They know.
Okay. So, this is a hypothetical worst case scenario. God forbid it never happens. Okay. If trust is ever broken... Do you think it's a harder blow because it's long distance? Or do you think you're a little more lenient, like, well, I get it because of the distance?
I don't... God, that's a good question. Because I don't think it's a harder blow, but I don't think it's like, oh, okay, I understand. Like, no.
Yeah, never understand.
Never understand. We made that clear. I think it will be like... You know, say, for example, if it continues this way that we go months without seeing each other a long period of time, I think it will probably be more like, I'll blame myself. Or like, oh, like if I would have just been there more or whatever. Like, I think it will actually hurt more, but differently.
A different way.
Right. It will be like, this is why long distance like doesn't work.
That's why this crap don't
work. Like this is why people don't do this. Like why didn't this happen or that happen or X, Y, Z, right? Yeah. Or like I should have known. I should have made him block that. Like whatever it might be. So it will feel different. A different kind of hurt, but is no extra leeway because of the distance. That is not an extra excuse. Like, well, you know, we haven't seen each other in a while. Right. No. But I wouldn't, you know, people never know how they're going to react until it happens, True. Right? So I think it's a thing of like, if you're in love enough, like, will it be, it might be. It might not be a deal breaker. Right, exactly. It might be something I'm like, but I honestly don't think we would, even if it happened and we were like, let's try, I don't think it would work out. Because, to stay together? Yes, because even if it would be like, we want to stay together, if we're still long distance, you would, because you would probably feel like, to gain trust, I have to police you. And neither party, nobody wants to be the police and nobody wants to be policed. Exactly. And no one wants to feel paranoid all the time. Yes. Like, all right, where are you going? What are you doing? Who want to be there? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, he's probably going to cheat again. You know? Yeah. So, I'm too old for that. So that's right. 80s babies. Okay, so I can imagine that there are some perks to having a long distance relationship. My idea would be that you get the love and support and the bond with someone, but on your day-to-day, you kind of get to live a single life. If the girls want to go out for happy hour, you're available. If, you know, somebody's having an event they want you to know, you're available. There is no, oh, well, let me see what the other one is doing. Oh, well, I might have to go here. You have that freedom. You still get to live in your own space. For some couples, the hardest part is just sharing a space. You guys get to, like, continue like that early dating phase for a long time because you still get to spruce up when he comes, like, all right, my man coming over, you know, it's not okay, you live here, whatever, get them dishes when you're done. So it kind of keeps things fresh because the anticipation is always there. Do you find that as a perk or as a not so much a perk? You phrased it so nicely. I don't know how I could not say as a perk. Like, no, I think especially like where we both are in our lives, it is good to have that little bit of distance of just like, we check in with each other, but it's not like a, oh, you were planning X, Y, and Z. Like, we know we're not. We know when we're going to see each other. We know what it is. It's not like a, oh, I was hoping to come over this weekend. Like, it's good, it's set. And I think it just makes, when you see the person, that much better. Like, you know. It's not taken for granted because you don't get to see them. And it's exciting. Like, oh, let me just shop for this little piece of lingerie. Like, because I haven't seen him in a minute. Like, he ain't see it in the laundry room. Like, exactly. Like, oh, I wore that last weekend. Like, every outfit is new. Like, nice. It is, it's good, and that's what's fun about it. And I think that, you know how they say like absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think that's true. So I do think it just makes like to a point where like, oh, I miss you so much. Like the love is just like it's like gushing. Right, exactly. How long is it expected for you guys to have to do the long distance things? I mean, 9 months is a long time, but it's still a little early. Have y'all even discussed what the future of y'all long distance, like, oh, we'll do this for another year and a half, or listen, I got 6 more good months in me, we need to figure this out, or So that's really interesting. So when we first started dating, I pretty much was like, I can't do this for more than 2 years. Okay. Like, 2 years is it. Then it turned into like, I would really like you to move here by August. Like 1 full year to get like together, and then we're like, and then let's make this move. Recently it's been like June. Sounds good. And like, I think now it's even, I think, especially me, I am over 30. There are things in life that I'm like, I just don't have time. Like, when I really think about it, like, all right, we're going to date for 4 years, then get engaged for like another, I'm going to be like 39 by the time we get married and have kids. Like, that's a lot. And not that I believe in rushing it, but it's just like, if you don't have to take that long. Right. I would rather just live at least in the same city, like the same 30 minutes. The same zip code, right, area code. Something in which it's like, and if it don't work out, it don't work out, but it's hard. Because you say, I want you to come here, so is he willing to come down this way? This way, technically. I think at this point, we're both willing to go to either way. Okay. But it's just that when is the question.
Got you.
So, and I think both of us are just like, why would the other person move? Like, before it was like, I have all this family here. I have a great job here. Like, it's not even a question that he would come here. But then just over time, it's like, North Carolina is significantly cheaper than
cost of living.
Like, I have friends there and family that live in at least the state of North Carolina. He has no one that's up here. So it's like, there are pros and cons for either one to go.
But this is a discussion y'all have.
Right. Yes. It's still mostly one-sided.
What do you mean?
It's still mostly me bringing it up.
Gotcha.
It's definitely me heavy, but he's not like
shutting it down. He's not opposed to the conversation.
No, but I think there's just a point that you reach that you're like, we need to have a conversation in person. And
this is serious.
Right.
This is serious. This is someone uprooting their life.
Right, exactly. And even if it's not living together, it's still changing your whole life for this other person.
Would you be okay waiting for engagement before those talks got more real, or you feel like
living in the same city?
Yeah.
No.
Y'all need to be in the same city before you get engaged.
Yes.
Do you think moving closer would be a different test for your relationship?
Yeah, 1,000%.
And you want to see it? Can we pass that test before we come to the same exact?
Can we pass like? You are always
seeing you much more often than every 3 weeks.
Right. So honestly, like we're long distance. I need to test us living in the same city. I need to test us living together. Like there are levels before engagement for me.
That you feel like you want to see before.
Right. Because like my parents lived together before they got engaged. I mean, they also had kids, so it was fine. But like, it's there like I thoroughly believe like living together, like testing all these things.
That's when you really get to know someone.
Exactly.
When y'all there is no going anywhere else.
I need to feel like I want to kill you before and not actually kill you before that comes, and we don't get to feel, because like the longest we've ever been together like in the same house is a week. So I need to be able to like, let me drive to you real quick, or like I just want like a Tuesday, I'm getting off early, what are you doing, let's go catch a movie.
Popping up, they're not always at their level 10 best because they wasn't expecting you.
Exactly.
Or if y'all officially live together and you get to see, he don't put the toilet seat down all the time, and I can do when I was there for that week.
You need to know the good, the bad, the ugly before it's like, this is forever.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be forever.
And you might not be able to see all the ugly, all the good, and even all the good a week at a time.
All right, 8 hours apart.
I need to see. For that week, we've been so excited about this. We probably planned our week around this. I need to see when you have that bad day where you come home and you're not in the best mood. Yes. How do we still vibe? And
I'm a planner. So if we are going to be together for a week, like we're trying to plan a vacation, like I'm going to have it planned so that everyone's happy the whole time. And even if we are unhappy, it's like for a little bit.
Yeah.
I need the just
because
like...
It's easier to not hold on to anger when you're on your 1 week trip, because you go, all right, bigger picture, I'm only here for 4 more days, let me get over it.
Right.
But when y'all live together, can you drop that anger that fast?
Exactly.
Are you more willing to hold that grudge? XYZ.
I need him to watch the show on Netflix without waiting for me and see how we get through that piece together.
Oh, so like, you just gonna start it?
I need that fight. Like, I need to be like, I purposely left that trash bag out for you to take with you.
And you ain't gonna grab it on your way outside?
And see how we work through that.
Gotcha.
Before it is
official tissue.
Exactly.
All right.
Official tissue. That's cute.
So this may be a different question, or maybe a question only maybe you could answer for him, because when you go to North Carolina, you're still surrounded by friends.
Yeah.
Because everybody on his podcast and different friends you met from going down there. When he comes here, not so much.
Right.
So when he comes down here to visit, or up here to visit you, is it more expected that you take a break from your normal social life and y'all do a lot of couple stuff? Or is it okay if you be like, all right, I know you're coming Tuesday, but Wednesday's my friend having a baby shower, so I'm going to take you to that. And then Thursday, the little girl I mentor is having a basketball team, so I'm going to take you to that. And then Friday, I'm supposed to get a mani-pedi, but you can come to that too. Like, is he a passenger on your life? Or do you say, I put my life on hold the minute you landed, and it's me and you, whatever we want to do. We could hibernate in the house all week, or we could just do dinner and, you know, whatever all week long.
So that's great. So I think, like, again, like I plan. So I'm already planning. And if there is something that weekend, I've already told him. But like a lot of times when he came up, it would be a Friday. So I still had to work. So there was times where he just like took a nap while I was at work, and back in, he was like, all right, you let me know.
Right.
But then there was one day that he was like sitting in my office while I continued to work.
And that's what I mean, because if the shoe was on the other foot and he had this business in North Carolina, he'd be like, well, rest what you doing, eat what you doing.
Right. There's so many options.
Really
like
hit up
I was there, I was there for a week, in between Christmas and New Year's. So I went down the day after Christmas. I left New Year's Day. I went and hung out with E and Rez. I went to the mall. I hung out with my sorority sister.
Oh, you busy? Go ahead, babe. I'm good.
I did. I'm going each and everywhere. Like, I had the time. That's why I also was like, I like North Carolina because I can like do a bunch of things. When he's here, almost anything that we're doing together. And I think, honestly, if you asked him, he would probably say he would be fine to just like relax at the house and I do whatever. But for me, I'm like, you're only here for 2 days.
Right.
So why would I?
How am I just going to be like, how am I going to just make you a passenger of my everyday life and not make this more about you?
Exactly. So, yeah, there's definitely been things where I'm like, oh, I didn't go, or I've like said no to this, that he probably was like, you didn't have to. And I'm like,
yes, I did.
But I did, because quality time is one of my love languages. So we need to be together.
I still haven't had that video. The love languages video is coming because it keeps popping up.
My number one's actually physical touch. And people think that means like you look a freak, John. But that's not true. It
just means holding hands. When we in the car, my hand is on your knee.
Like even us, like we're very close together, and like you like talk with your hands to do this.
Yes.
That is a love. That's me being like, I feel love. Like, so it's small stuff.
Mine is acts of service.
Oh, I'm 0 there.
Mine almost 0 was words of affirmation.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I could care less.
Yeah, I wish.
Take the garbage out.
I wish more people.
I don't want to care how much you love me. Go wash the dishes.
I don't need it. Show me.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so this we're gonna go back to a little personal, a little bit again, but you don't mind it, so we're gonna go back.
I don't. Let's go.
Have y'all found ways, or is there a need to keep it spicy since you don't get to be physical as often as you would like? Even if y'all said every 3 weeks. 3 weeks could be a long time when you're talking bedroom days.
Right.
So is there like, you know, have you had to make sure that the FaceTime game is popping? Is that not a thing? Is he not really into that? Like, nah, wait till I see you. I don't like this computer love.
Oh, that's a good song. I think we are very different in that.
Okay.
So, there are some times where it's like, it can get a little spicy, I would say, but I think not as much. I think I'm honestly comfortable with more because we don't see each other as much. But there are small things that I might do, you know, send a picture. Not like full nude, like, come on. But like, send a picture, like send something. We're really good at like sending DMs of something on Twitter and being like, emojis, or like someone else doing something. So that just means like, oh, that person's thinking of this
naughtiness.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, it's been different. Like, I actually really not good predicting what he actually wants in that place. As far as like FaceTime or long distance, I think we've just grown comfortable with different things. But we're very much like, oh, like when I see you, but
this is gonna go down.
Right. I mean, there are times where like one of us will say I miss you, and we know we mean in that way because it's like 1 a.m. or
got you, and it's that tone of voice,
right? And someone's
like, I miss you, babe. It's like, yo, I miss you,
right? You look kind of a little warm in here, but yeah, exactly. Or like he'll tweet something, I'm like, all right, he's in a thing, and then I'll get a text message. It's like, I missed you so much. I'm like,
got you.
Same.
We on the same wavelength, babe. Okay, is this your first long distance relationship?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I've been living in Delaware while dating someone in Philly.
40 minutes.
And I've lived in New York and been like talking to someone in Jersey.
Still neighboring states.
Exactly.
It's a train ride.
This has been, where it's not like, just ate. Let me just put on my Uggs real quick, my leggings, and good to go.
This is more of a lovey-dovey question, but what do you think was different or special about him that made you say, distance be darned, I still want to shoot my shot with you?
He's just really sweet. And I could just be like Southern charm. He's not that sweet. I don't know. But yeah, I think that got me. And I think we were just like on the same page about a lot of stuff. So I honestly think, so we were texting for like 2 weeks when we were talking. And then he FaceTimed me one random Saturday at like 8 p.m. We hung up at 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the next weekend, it was like just as long. So I literally felt like I could talk to him for hours.
You knew he could be a good friend. And if y'all could have a basis of friendship, the sky would a limit for how a relationship could to go.
Exactly.
Because if you can't have that kind of talk and you're going into something long distance and y'all can't even stay on the phone for more than an hour, it's not going to work.
So it was like, it felt like, when I was talking to him, like it felt like we were just hanging out. So I was like, this is fun. And then I went down there to actually visit for their live show. And in person, we connected really well.
Nice.
So it was like, all right. So I like the one day was just like, you know, if you're considering, I would say yes. And he was like, I need time. And then the next morning, literally the next morning, he had to go
clear the stage.
He needed to sleep on it
because committing yourself to a long distance relationship, I think, is something you should really think about. Oh yeah, because it's a very different dynamic than somebody who lives down the street.
Exactly, and it was the first time I think he was in a real long distance relationship. It was, for me, the first time real long distance, and the first time me dating someone that was really good friends with one of my really good friends.
Because that's a different dynamic.
Exactly, having like really close mutual friends. So I was like,
I might not feel that comfortable venting to my friend how I used to about his friend.
Right, now I do it all the time, so.
It is what it is.
Fine, yes.
Thank you, Jazmyn, so much for coming on.
I loved it.
Oh, glad. I loved having you on. If you guys want to see Jazmyn again, please let me know. I will try to catch her between one of her flights or drives down to North Carolina and bring her back on. I will link her information in the description box. Please hit her up again. Hit up Textually Active Podcast. Go listen to it. It is amazing. Thank you again, Andre, at Love Hugs and Sangria. It's awesome. Thank you again, John, for making the intro music. And thank you guys. And thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And meet me back here next Tuesday for another Convos with Cleo.
Excuse me.